the January 1986 issue of Harvard Business Review, Hirotaka Takeuchi and Ikujiro Nonaka published their findings of case studies in the automotive industry. They concluded that overlapping phases and self-managing cross-functional teams were more effective. In other words, if you have team members that can perform all the activities required, and the organization can leave it up to the team to decide on how they go about their work, they will be more productive than when instructed in detail. In their article, they use teamwork in rugby as an analogy. This inspired Ken Schwaber and Jeff Sutherland to publish their workshop papers on a lightweight framework for software development they named Scrum in 1995. In this paper, they advocated software development based on empiricism, being open to discovery during the journey, and 3 pillars: being transparent about what you're doing, inspecting and allowing inspection of intermediate and final results, and adapting to changes along the road. Because Scrum is based on trusting teams to assume their responsibilities, Scrum is simple to understand but may be difficult to master. In Scrum we have 3 roles. We have 1 product owner, we have 3 to maximum 9 developers forming the development team, and we have 1 Scrum Master, which together form the Scrum team. The product owner is responsible for defining what is required and writes this down in user stories. These user stories form the product backlog, which is owned by the product owner. The product owner ensures that the user stories are ordered by importance. Initially, there should be enough user stories for the development team to start working on. The rest can be refined later, which is called grooming. The product owner liaises with stakeholders in the organization, so the development team has only 1 product owner to talk to. The development team will deliver increments via iterations referred to as sprints in Scrum. Each increment must be potentially useful, for example software that is working and can be demonstrated. The development team is self-managing. There is no project manager role in Scrum. So planning out work and tracking your own work is up to the development team itself and not to, for example, the Scrum Master or the product owner. Everyone in the development team is equal and has the same role, developer. This means that each member must be able and willing to work cross-functional, meaning planning out work, designing solutions, building software, deploying it for testing and testing the software itself. The Scrum Master is a coaching role referred to as servant leader in Scrum. The Scrum Master is a coach for the development team, the product owner, but also the other stakeholders in the environment. And the Scrum Master supports the development team by addressing and removing impediments that block or hinder progress of the team. Sprints best have a consistent length that can vary in size from 2 to 4 weeks depending on the risk for the business. Once a sprint is started, it is not shortened or lengthened. During the sprint, no changes are made that endanger the sprint goal, quality goals are not decreased, and the scope can be clarified between product owner and development team if needed. The product owner may cancel a sprint when the goal is no longer required. The first activity in the sprint is the planning of the sprint. This takes about 4 to 8 hours depending on the length of the sprint. For a sprint of 2 weeks, the sprint planning is 4 hours, 3 weeks it's 6 hours, and for a sprint of 4 weeks, the sprint planning is 8 hours. Each user story is given a weight to indicate its relative size in relation to the other user stories. As the project moves along, the development team will learn and discover how much of the assigned weight it can develop during a sprint. After estimating, the team will pick the user stories from the product backlog they think they can finish in the next sprint and put them in the sprint backlog. Sprint backlog is further refined with tasks required to finish the selected user stories. The sprint goal is defined, like for example a first working prototype or a customer-ready site, so everyone understands what we aim at the end of the sprint. The development team also defines when they think they are ready with the sprint. in the so-called definition of done. For example, after successfully testing and after providing reviewed documentation. And finally, we prepare for the Burndown Chart. The Burndown Chart shows progress made by the team and has the weight of the user stories vertically and time horizontally, being for example weeks or sprints. At the beginning of the project, the target line starts at the total estimated weight of all the user stories in the product backlog and ends at 0 after the estimated number of sprints or weeks. Each week or sprint, the team updates the chart so everybody can see the progress made by the team. After the sprint planning, the development team continues by working on the user stories. The developers update the status during the day. Every day in the morning, the development team will have the daily scrum. The daily scrum is 50 minutes max. Everyone else, including the product owner and the Scrum Master, are free to attend, as audience. During the Scrum, each developer will answer the following questions. What did I do yesterday? What will I do today? And do I see any impediments? At the end of the sprint, the development team will hold a sprint review to allow for a demonstration to and/or inspection by the product owner and stakeholders invited by the product owner. The sprint review is 4 hours max. The last event in the sprint is the sprint retrospective, during which the team reflects on where it can improve. It does so by asking itself, what should we keep doing? What should we do more? What should we start doing? What should we do less? And what should we stop? The sprint retrospective is 3 hours max. So that is in a nutshell Scrum. You can find this summary sheet on my website www.siemons.info. I would like to thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe.